Hello YouTube, it's your boy Vintage Sterling Finds back for everybody's favorite video. So in this video, this is a comment I've gotten 4 or 5 times in the videos. What do you do with the watches after? So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the tools I use to get watches ready for resale. We're not going to do anything too crazy. We're not going to be rebuilding watches, anything like that. Just basic servicing, clean them up, basic repairs, get them listed. Tools I use, the processes, and just how I do it as a watch reseller. I own like 5,000 watches, so this is something I do every single day. So if you like the content, sit back, relax, and chill. And subscribe. So this is right from the last video where I bought the 350 watches for $350. So if we pan down, these are just some of the basic tools you're going to need. You're going to need other things like watch batteries, straps, but just for what we're doing, you need tweezers, openers, case back opener, calipers, tweezers, watch holder. Also, one of those presses work well for the watch backs. So I'd recommend that you buy a set off Amazon, Temu, any just of the basic watch repair kits. They're quite inexpensive. I recommend you buy them. So we're going to show tools and tips and tricks along the way. So what I always like to do also is I usually do it in stages. So like the first bunch, I'll work on watches, then I'll list them. So what I like to do is I like to keep bags. When the watches are done, we throw them in a ready Ziploc. Then I list them on eBay and Etsy for resale. The watches that I put a battery in that are broken that we're not going to fix, I put them in ladies' bags, men bags. Then once I get a bag full, I go on eBay. I usually put maybe 10 watches together, sell them as broken lots. For people that want to take the time to actually go through each and individual one of them and repair them. So, let's jump into it. First watch we have is a Lorus. This is by Seiko, day date, a little scratched up. Nice watch though. First thing I always want to do is before we do anything else, we want to take the case off, and it should have a tab somewhere. Here we go. Put our tool underneath. Sometimes it can be a little stiff. Try this one. There we go. And we need a 927. So we're back. Change the battery. Like to get some tweezers. Good, I'm in the middle of the frame. Just go from underneath. And just, there we are. Throw that one away. Take our new battery. So you can use the ceramic ones too. Probably better to use the ceramic ones. You have to worry about scratching the battery. And just from the back, open it up, push it down. Now, I always like to make sure the watch works. Yep, you see that ticking away. Now we're going to put the back on. This is the one I like to use. I find it does a little bit better job than the ones that you just squeeze. I like how this one's screw down. Put it in. Like that. Take our back. Tab on this one's quite small. Make sure it lines up nicely. Take this. Put this on. This is nice, controlled. We don't have to worry about shattering glass. And just press it in. Feel it pop into place. Unscrew it. You can do this with your hands. I find it's a little rough. Check our work. Good, watch is still running. Next thing we do is check the day date. Half pull. There we go. Set to Wednesday. Other way. There we go. Make sure the hands work. Good. So next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a toothbrush and It's watertight. Don't go crazy and just give it a quick rub with a toothbrush. We're back. We gave this a quick wipe down. Still running. Just a quick toothbrush, a little bit of water. Didn't get everything, got most of it. Next, we're going to take our caliper and check. This is a 20 millimeter. So now we need a strap. Going to take this off. Spring bar tool. Under the spring bar. Get it in there. This one's very tight. There we go. Sometimes they can be a little bit tight because they're old, a little bit stiff. So now let's go find a strap. So this is my box of watch straps. 18, 20. I usually do this up there, but for the video, let's do it on the ground. So I think, this is kind of a cheaper watch. We want to use a cheaper strap. We're not going to use a really expensive strap. So I think this looks kind of cool. I got it on Temu for like 60 cents. They were mystery. It says random one piece. So I think it matches the colorway. We're just going to put this on there. We can't call it NATO or eBay will pull the ad for copyright. We have to call it a fabric or nylon strap. So we're back. We have our spring bar set. You can get these on Amazon quite cheap. 17, 18, 19, 20 millimeter. I know I have like 2 or 3 of these sets. We actually didn't have to take out that spring bar, but we did. Not a big deal. And, cheaper watch, cheaper strap. I always like to put the first bit in my hand, hold it, put this spring bar tool, came out. Get our tool, and just put it back. Good, we got it. So those are back in. Then the good thing about these straps, just take them apart, bring it around, slip on, slip off, and this watch is ready to list. So for listing, I'll put a video in the description about how I list on eBay. But for finding prices, I look on eBay sold. These are what a couple sold for. I'll probably list it for 40. I think it's a nice looking watch. It's worn, not abused. Nice little watch. So now we're going to put this in the ready bag. So next watch. Beautiful ladies Bulova Accutron. Diamonds, but the strap's broken. So we have to sell it as junk, right? Well, no. So what I did is I looked in my parts bin. I couldn't find this exact screw. But what we can do quite easily is just take a screwdriver. Go in. Unscrew one of them. How do this at this angle? There we are. Good. Take out a link. Grab our trusty tweezers. Push it back in. Sure we're lined up. And screw it down. Make sure I'm in the right hole. I had it cross-threaded, so I just went back and screwed it down all the way. Now, let's see if this even works. And I'll keep this with the watch. Now, where's the opening? Opening is here. Let's use this one. Sorry, someone yelled for me. And I think the way we're going to do this is just like this. Put the crown in between the hands. Put a little pressure. Give it a little twist. You don't want to mark the watch, but this is so tight I can't fit my tool in there. So we pop the back. So it takes a 4/16. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those right now. The watch is in good shape, so I will assume it works. So here's the next watch, Timex Expedition. Now, the strap's not original, and as you can see, I always change straps when they're this clearly far gone. Good test with these cheap straps is you can just rip them off. See? Easy peasy. That's how you know it's time for new straps. So, this guy takes a 2016. So for this, same thing, you just want to put your tool, pop the back. There we go. Now let's go get a new battery, see if this bad boy works. So we're back. Let's take our tweezers, battery. There we are. I can hear it going. Now most of these digital Timex, to get the Indiglo to work, you have to reset the battery. This one doesn't have that, but I still, for good judgment, I'm going to touch these two together. Resets the battery. Then the other thing I always like to check before I put the case on. Watch it's Indiglo. And it works. Good, good. Now this case, you just put on the back of your hands, press. There you go, back on. So same thing, we're gonna make sure this works. Half pull, good, good. Full pull, good, good. We already checked the Indiglo. Check it again. Yep, working good. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. You see how dirty this watch is? Take a toothbrush and come back. So we're back. As you can see, the watch is running. Gave it a little clean. It's not in bad shape. Little paint chip there. Now to price this, to see what kind of strap we go on, let's just Google Lens it. So I found this one that sold. I think this is more fair of a price. But as you can see, nylon strap, beautiful watch. I quite like this one. So I think I'll put it for the same as the sold one into the ready bag. We're back and we have an absolute mound of watches. So I think the first thing we want to do is certain watches, like we look up the sold price of watches like these, like this, and you see the condition, just it's not the best. So what we do also is, like, this one's missing the ring. I usually just lot these up. So again, we're looking for other watches like that. This watch doesn't work. Also had a couple comments about this one. This one doesn't work also. Not a big deal. Most of the ladies' watches do work. We have bags as well. Do not work. So watches that don't work, I put in like-minded lots and list them that way. So then that they other people can buy them for parts, project, Timex collectors, and I've been quite successful doing it that way. Here's our next project watch. Now I'm gonna make the decision. The strap's too small. I'll reuse it with something else. So I'm just gonna remove it. Then we'll see if it works. We'll put another strap on it. Just like their spring bar tool. There's the first one. Put that to the side. And this is pretty much what it is. We're storing these watches, fixing them up. Now let's go grab a screwdriver and a 2016 battery. Good thing Timex always says on the back what they are. Back. Open this up. And we're gonna have to take out, let's just take out those two screws, this one and this one. So we're back. Now we're gonna want to restart the watch. After battery insertion, press to reset. I think we want to press, I think they mean that. I think. There we go. Now, let's put this back on. Then we're gonna go in the washroom, see if the Indiglo works. Washroom because it's quite dark. Here's the watch. Let's see if the Indiglo works. It does. Good, good. Now let's go back. So, now if we look at the watch, then focus, we can see there's just scratches on the watch. Now, this is a cheaper watch, but I thought for the video, let's take those out. It doesn't take much time at all. Here's some 2000 grit sandpaper. I use this a fair bit. So what I like to do is, because we have to be mindful, because this plastic is higher than the glass, so we can't just sand it like this, unfortunately. So what I like to do is take a little bit on my finger, fold it however you need, and just work the corners. And just work it and work it. And you see we're starting to get a little bit hazy. Do this for another couple minutes and come back. Just work the sides, just like that, and come back. So we did that for a couple minutes. Now this is a poly watch hack. I just use the same piece of the rag over and over and over again till it gets saturated. Then just keep using it. And poly watch is expensive, but if you just use the same rag, you save a lot of money. So on expensive watches, we'll actually use the poly watch, but on cheaper watches, I just use the saturated rag. Now we're gonna go like this, go like this. I'll be back in a few. So we just came back. I did it for a couple minutes, then I took it to the sink, toothbrush. I made sure to keep the lettering. And as you can see, it's a lot more shiny. And there's still some scratches. It's not perfect, but for a cheaper watch, that's good enough. So now let's measure the lugs. Then after we measure the lugs, we can get a strap. Putting the straps is my favorite part. So let's just see what we're dealing with here. 19 mm. Okay, it might be a little hard. We'll probably use an 18. So sometimes in business, you want to make yourself unique. There's lots of other watches for sale, but I found this beauty. It's a 90s power strap bracelet that fits perfectly. So I believe this is just like a NATO style. Okay, then we might have to put it like this on the watch then. Okay, we'll take off the spring bars and we'll put it under, because this fits perfect. So I assume it would go something like this. So sometimes in business, you want to be unique, be the only one. So I put it back on its silver foot strap. I mean, it's period correct. So you'd adjust it here. See if this fits. It may, I don't know. Then just, person must have a smaller wrist. See, then there we go. Yeah, this is a bit tight on me, but gives you an idea. So we cleaned up the watch. This is pretty much what we do. This is what it's worth. On to the next one. Next watch up is a Citizen. This is one of those 80s dual times. As we can see, the watch has just the perfect amount of patina. Used but not abused. So let's pop the back. I just find it's easier to take this out. And a lot of the times one may work, like the analog or the digital, but we'll see. Okay. What's this say? Press 3 people together when we're okay. So replace battery, press all 3, probably to restart it. $3.95. Let's go grab a battery. So we have the battery. Let's get our handy dandy tweezers. Cheat a little bit. Good, good. Now let's it says press all 3. Okay. And we're running. So probably this one's the mode. There's this one for the time. I think I see the first issue. These buttons are quite sticky. Let's see. Yeah, these buttons do not... Yeah, see, this one moves. That one moves. These two do not. I wonder if that's just dirt or grime. Let's just remove this. So. Yeah, these do not move. Okay, I think I see some of the issue. This looks like it's been pushed up. So I wonder if we push this down. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, it looks like that was pushed. Good. Yeah, those looks like there's no springs or anything. They just push back. So that's fine. Okay. So maybe this just needs a little bit of an adjustment. Is that? Yeah, it's touching. So that just needs just a little bit of an adjustment. Okay. So those are out. Let's put this back in. That went like this. So did that help? Yeah, it was just click. Okay, I'll just have to play with that a bit more. Okay, I don't know if I can fix that one or not, but this is the last watch. It's quite rare. Timex Mystery. So same thing as last, we're gonna take the screws off. Okay, so screws are out. Now, I don't wanna remove these, the strap. It's right up against the case, and I think I'd do more damage trying to remove it. So let's just see if we can stretch that back, get our screwdriver underneath. Yeah, just kind of, there we go. Wiggle it out. 225. So we're gonna take off, I think if we just take off this one, we can slide this out. Saying, okay, so we'll take this one, we'll get a 225, put this back on, then reset it. Okay, we're back. Got the battery, undid the screws. Let's take a look. Now, some of you guys said you're supposed to use ceramics when you're working with the batteries. So I got some ceramic tweezers. There we are. Let's remove that. I usually use my hands. I know it's probably not the most proper thing. Take our new battery. Sure that's actually in there. Good. It's like a little spring on it. So that goes like this. Like that. Then let's put these screws back in there. Okay, so now batteries in, we have this. Need to reset it. Peel back the battery a little bit, make sure we're in. Has to be metal for that. Yep, we got it. Good, good. Now let's screw this back on. Everything's back together now. You can see there's just that little bit of a scratchiness. Let's sand it. And at the end, I'm going to show you what this watch is worth. You might be surprised. When we have watches I care about, I usually just take a little bit of 2000 grit. I find it's even easier to cut it because we don't want to sand this and it's indented. So I just like to take it. You'd be surprised. It doesn't need a whole lot. And just really work it. And you know, something like this where we where we care about the watch. See, we've already started to scratch it up a little bit. And just do this for maybe 10 or 15, say 5 minutes. Just gonna go like this. So, looks pretty good. Scratched up. Indiglo does work. Now let's use our poly watch and polish this up again. After the poly watch, it looks pretty good. Just a little poly watch on there. I'm gonna show you guys how I just clean these up. A little bit on the thing. I apologize, the audio is probably not gonna be the best on this. And don't have any microphones on, so hopefully this goes okay. I'm just kind of using a clamp for my phone, so hopefully. Get back there, get in there, just do the whole thing. You know, take your time. You don't want to put it under the water. Just, you know, make sure this is damp, because if the brush isn't damp, you're going to be here all day. Just like that. The strap got a little bit sticky, a little bit of wear and tear over time. Quite common. Let's clean the face. Again, we don't want to do too much and take off all that paint. It's a game, right? You want to show restraint. Don't do too much, you're going to destroy the watch. We're back. I think it looks a lot better. Let me just, sorry, the screen's a bit dusty. How did I do on that? Okay, yeah, it looks better. Strap looks better. Now they call this a mystery, and there's a mystery button, and I don't know why, so let's just press it. You bet. You bet. You bet. You bet. Okay, so do we stop it? Time? Okay, let's press hazy. Time? Yup. Time? Okay, so we just go back and forth with it. What's this one do? Okay, like a time, okay. So, it works. This is what it's worth. So, please know, I'm really not a professional with watches. I'm a hobbyist. I know you see my setup, you see what I'm doing. I'm not a watchmaker. I'm a hobbyist. So I hope you enjoyed. This is what I do. This is how I process watch lots. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. And this is what this is worth.